Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wrestling Artistry Podcast on this date, November the 16th, 2021. I am your host, Andre Smith, and this is a milestone show. This is the 10th episode of the Wrestling Artistry Podcast, and I'll be covering AEW Rampage that happened this past Friday. This is all before the Full Gear pay-per-view happened, and I will try to tie in a couple of the Full Gear results into this as best I can. This show emanated from the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. First match of the night is Jungle Boy versus Bobby Fish. According to the announcers, Fish was trying to take out Jungle Boy before Full Gear. As the match goes on, Fish targets the ribs of Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy comes back with some chops and kicks. Fish comes back by working on the arm and shoulder. He works on the ribs as well. Jungle Boy tried a suplex onto the floor, but Fish reverses and tries for a German suplex onto the floor, but Jungle Boy blocks the attempt. Fish continues to work on the shoulder. Jungle Boy mounts a comeback with a drop kick and a lariat. Fish executes a hammerlock back suplex for a 2 count. Jungle Boy delivers an overhead belly to belly, and Fish comes back working on the arm again. Fish delivers an explosive suplex for a very near fall. Jungle Boy blocks a kick attempt to knock down Fish and executes the snare trap submission. Fish tries to block it, but Jungle Boy starts raining down some elbow shots to the back of Fish's head. And then he gets the move locked in, making Fish tap out. Man, it looked like Fish was about to choke out as well. After the match, Adam Cole comes out to attack Jungle Boy and takes Jungle Boy down with the help of Bobby Fish. Cole grabs a couple of steel chairs, no doubt having a concerto on his mind. But as he gets ready to enter the ring, Christian Cage and Luchasaurus comes out to the rescue. Cole leaves Fish high and dry as Christian Cage executes the kill switch onto Fish. They preview the finals of the world title. Oh, before I get to that, there was a street fight between the Jurassic Express, Christian Cage against the super clique of Adam Cole and the Young Bucks, which the faces won. It was a pretty hardcore match from what I saw. And according to it was pretty brutal. It involved thumbtacks and everything. Anyway, as I get back to my place here, they preview the finals of the World Title Elimination Tournament between Bryan Danielson and Miro, which Danielson ended up winning at Full Gear. Back to Rampage. As the Super Clique were about to cut a promo, Adam Page confronts them. He said that he had something to say to the Young Bucks. He apologized for being an ass, throwing away the friendship, and costing the Bucks the tag team championship at one point. He also mentioned the fact that the Bucks cost him the world title. And Page pretty much said that they were even at this point. But if he issued a warning to the Bucks saying that if the Bucks interfere and mess up Page, he was going to ruin them. More on that later. We have Jade Cargill versus Santana Garrett, which Cargill basically just dominated the match. She disrespected Garrett and pretty much had control during the whole match. She got up in Red Velvet's face, who happened to be at ringside, and who is her opponent in the quarterfinals of the AEW TBS Championship Tournament. Garrett tried for a springboard elbow, but Jade caught Garrett in midair executed her Glam Slam's jaded finisher for the pin. Afterwards, Smart Mark Sterling, Cargill's manager, was represent Cargill, a cake representing 1 year since she's been with the company. And as that happened, Velvet speared Jade and then put the cake in Sterling's face. Then there was a pull-apart brawl between the two women, really hyping up their quarterfinal match. Speaking of the match between Bryan Danielson and Miro, and after a pretty much hard-fought match, Danielson, he won by hitting the DDT and locking Miro in a guillotine lock for the guillotine submission for the win. Let me see here. They also, after the back to Rampage, they previewed the Full Gear match between Eddie Kingston and CM Punk. This match was pretty much a brawl. And they just, at one point, Punk was busted open, and they were just, it wasn't a technical masterpiece. But at the end, Punk hit the GTS for the win, and he offered Eddie Kingston a handshake, but Kingston refused. All right, back to Rampage. Dante Martin versus Arya Devari, two hometown Minnesota guys. This match was so fast and furious, I just couldn't I couldn't really keep up, on much of the moves because they were just doing a lot of crazy stuff. The few highlights, I did manage to capture. Devari delivered a leg drop onto Martin while Martin was draped in the ropes for a 2 count. Arya continues the punishment, but Martin mounts a comeback with a kick to the head. Devari hits a net breaker, clothesline, and a frog splash for a very near fall. Martin hits a standing moonsault off the top ropes for the win. Team Taz offers Martin a contract, and Martin looks like he has a lot on his mind. Then they go back to a preview of the AEW Women's title match between the challenger Ty Conti and the champion Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, which Britt Baker remains the women's champion after roll up pin. It seemed like she basically just wore down Conti for during the match, and Baker just having to take advantage of it. From what I heard, it was it had a few wild bumps and everything. Whew. And now we have the main event of Rampage, which is the Lumberjack Match, Matt Hardy versus Orange Cassidy. Hardy offers $20,000 to anyone that knocks out Orange Cassidy. Then the Lumberjacks brawl outside the ring. Cassidy takes down Hardy and starts raining down fists. And Cassidy lays in the punishment until he's thrown to the floor outside the ring. He fights off a couple of Lumberjacks and gets back in where Hardy is waiting on him. Hardy tries for a twist of fate, but Cassidy turns it to a backslide for a 2 count. Cassidy gets thrown outside again, and this time the Blade beats him down before he throws Cassidy back in. Now Hardy has the advantage. After Cassidy gets beat down by the Lumberjacks again, the best friends dive onto the heels. Then after Hardy gets thrown outside, they assist Cassidy with a dive onto the Hardy family. Hardy hits the side effect for a near fall. Cassidy hits a DDT. And after a whole bunch of in-ring shenanigans, the Blade hits Cassidy with brass knuckles for Hardy to pin Cassidy to end the show. Now back to the world title match between Paige and Omega. It seemed to be a pretty great match. Before the match came to a close, the Young Bucks they came to ringside, and he and Paige nailed Omega with 2 buckshot legs, and the Bucks were at ringside nodding their approval. He made the cover and then pinned Omega to become the new AEW World Champion, which this could lead to perhaps some issues with the Super Elite later on down the road. So, and we'll see how things unfold. So, as far as this coming week, as a matter of fact, as I am recording, it'll be tomorrow. I am going to be in Norfolk, Virginia for the AEW Dynamite show, and maybe I'll share some results from that show. If not, then maybe some of the taped shows. I'll probably try to stick to schedule and not do any spoiler alerts or anything. So I'm just trying to have a good time and unwind. Been a lot going on, so hopefully it'll just give me a chance to have some fun, recharge, and then try and get more focused on things. And I apologize if I was all over the place with this podcast. There's just been a lot going on. I haven't had really too much time to prepare. But I assure you guys this, I will be doing my best to be better prepared and get more focused. New to this podcast thing, so I'm going to try to do the best I can. Anyway, I will see y'all guys again next week for another edition of the Wrestling Artistry Podcast. And until next week, so long for now.